Welcome to episode 16 of Realty Talk with
Courtney.
and Galen. So we fired Ellie. No, I'm just kidding. Ellie is out of town for the week, and I texted her this morning and I said, Ellie, we need to figure something out because you're not here. And I go, I'm going to just do the episode by myself. And Ellie said, nobody wants to hear that. So she goes, why don't we have Courtney come on? So Courtney is here, and Courtney is in the process of getting her real estate license, and she is very close. So I figured we'd bring her on, kind of introduce her a little bit, and then kind of ask her some questions about getting into the business and expectations and things like that. So right now you are very close to, I think you just have to take this state test, right?
Yep, the state exam next week.
Okay, and everything else though, pretty good. You said that the test was fairly easy.
Super easy, yeah.
Good, and I know that Courtney probably went through the test faster than anybody I've ever, or the course faster than anybody I've ever seen it, or anybody I've ever seen. So you actually flew by that much faster than I anticipated, which was great. So first question is, or for you, is why did you want to get into real estate?
Honestly, it was my husband's idea. You know, he'd been listening to your podcasts. Basically, when you and Ellie first started doing the Realty Talk ones, and he said, hey, you should go talk to GT. At least, get an idea of what it's like. I think it's something you'd be really good at.
So we can thank our buddy, your husband, but my good friend Isaac for that. So now coming in, and we talked a few months back, right? I think you approached me 3 months ago.
Middle of February.
Yeah. So you went really fast through this. So February we had talked about you doing real estate, and you've shadowed me and done some stuff, kind of back and forth, and trying to learn a little bit. And you will obviously learn much more now that you're getting tossed right into everything. But what are you looking forward to most in real estate?
I'm looking forward to getting out there, meeting people, building my sphere, and of course selling some houses. There
you go. And have you, I guess the other question, which I've kind of asked Ellie when she first got in, was, is there anything what do you think is going to be, what are you most afraid of? What's your biggest hurdle? What do you think you have to overcome in order to be a good real estate or a good realtor?
I don't know. I guess my biggest fear is not picking up clients. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what I would do to overcome that other than just getting out there, meeting people. Yeah,
and when I've told you, and I've told anybody that comes in, that real estate's tough to get into in the sense that you're not going to just jump in. And I think when you follow me on a day-to-day basis, and I complain about not having enough time in the day to get to everything. That's taken me years to build up to that level, which wasn't happening when I first started. So when I first started, I was just trying to find a client, find one client that you could work with. And the thing is, with people looking, that's just one client that's looking. It doesn't mean they're going to go look at the first home, make an offer, and then you're going to close that. They might not even make an offer. They might decide they want to hold off or whatever. But I was telling you today, it's always about trying to increase your network, increase your people that you know. I think you had mentioned knowing a couple people that may be looking to buy or sell, and that's where it starts. I talk about my first deal ever was a girl that I went to school with. I had known her for probably 15 plus years by the time she actually ended up purchasing something, and that was my first client. She bought a piece of land, and she reached out to me, and I think that was nice because I had no experience, didn't know what I was really doing.
Right.
I got through that part fine because I was working with my dad on it a little bit to teach me what to do and make sure I had everything completed. But that's where it starts. You start with a family friend, or it could be someone that we talked about, maybe from a niche or a group of people that and that becomes your first client. And then we'll talk about how to leverage that into hopefully more business, but it's going out, it's meeting people, it's increasing that, increasing your name, increasing your name recognition, increasing your knowledge, and then as you start gaining more clients, that we can turn that into just consistent business where you're not wondering man, I have no clients right now. You want to get to the point where you almost feel like you have too many clients. Right. Because, and I'm always big on I'm always looking to increase and expand and grow and as an agent, but also as a company. So like hopefully, I can help you grow in that aspect, and the other agents in the office can do the same, and leverage each other's knowledge and abilities, and figure out a way that everybody can benefit each other and help each other grow. And I think the good thing, like I said, for you and for a new agent, because I've had this thought, is sometimes existing agents, if they come over, they've done stuff a certain way. Like we've had some agents that have come over that have been, they've had their license prior. Like they're not like you. They didn't just get into the business. So, and there's a difference between they know pretty much what they're doing. Like they can fine tune some stuff or change some stuff to how, maybe something different we did than another place. But for the most part, they know what they're doing. So it's more of just staying in touch, getting ideas from them. That's why I'm big on having agents with meetings with agents and with the office to bounce ideas around and get their thoughts and opinions, and try to implement those and grow as a team. Someone new coming in like you have everything to learn and nothing, but you have no bad habits. It's more of like, hey, you're coming in trying to learn everything and be a sponge and just take it all in. And so far, out of all the stuff that you've shadowed me on, what has been kind of the thing that you like the most?
I guess the listing appointments, those are the most exciting because you're actually capturing the client, as opposed to just working with buyers.
Yeah, and I think there's more invested up front with the listing. Overall, it's less time. I mean, if you're an agent, any good agent knows that listings is what you want. You can leverage it more. It's a better use of your time overall, but there's more upfront time, but that's fine. That's I would take a listing. If I could get a listing every single day, I'd be happy. You know what I mean? And I think I would get one listing a week, I'd be happy. And that's what I think most agents, if you told them you could get 50 listings in a year, every agent would take you up on that, because that's such a powerful thing. So that is obviously a good thing to strive for, and that's something that you want to build and build and build. And when I got in the business, I told everybody, you're going to work with buyers 100% of the time when you get in. You're going to work with buyers for 100% of the time. You're going to work with sellers 0% of the time. And every year you want to flip that ratio. In a perfect world, you would want to work with 100% sellers and 0% buyers, meaning because it's a better use of your time. But it takes a long time to get to that level. And I think you're never really going to be fully at that level, because you're always going to double in some deals, meaning you're going to have a buyer that wants to buy a property. So you're going to have always... I think if somebody gets to like 90% listings and 10% buyers, that's a realistic number. But it takes time. This is my 9th year, and I would say I'm probably approaching the 50-50 mark right now. So I don't think I'm ever going to switch that, probably for another 5 to 10 years before I could really step away from buyers fully. And I still like working with buyers because I love people getting their first home. I like, there's like, I think part of it has to do with my age, which I think you'll fall right into this, is that you start working with peers and stuff, and they're buying their first home. It's exciting because you're helping them accomplish a really cool, life goal that they can accomplish, and it's always fun. I've had some people. I mean, you went on one too, and the lady that bought the home was ecstatic. That was something that she wanted, and
yeah, like the listings are great. That also was really great too, though. Just seeing the excitement and then finally getting to the end of the closing.
I mean, the closing process takes time. I mean, it takes roughly 8 weeks. I would like it to be a little faster, but it's there's a lot involved, and you're dealing with banks and attorneys and inspections and title and all the good stuff that comes with closing. And so it's a matter of getting over that hump and trying to close on a property. So kind of was talking to you, like, you just gotta realize that once a deal goes under contract, that's not a closed sale by any means. I always feel way better after a home inspection, because I think I have thoughts on home inspections. That's probably for a full podcast. I can talk about that. But I think, I always feel more confident once we're past really the inspection portion of it. Because inspections, I think, deals fall apart 90% of the time. If a deal falls apart 90% of the time, it's due to, I believe, in a home inspection.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the other 10%, you're looking at something weird that might happen. Very rarely is it financing. Every once in a while, but it's not often. So a lot of it comes down to, at that point, if there's any kind of like screw up on maybe the buyer getting cold feet or something happening after the fact or something crazy happening. But majority of the time, something that falls apart is an inspection. But I'll probably do an inspection podcast at some point because that's, I think, a topic that I think a lot of people, really gotta understand the true meaning of a home inspection versus using it to try to get even more money out of a seller and things like that. But that's, like I said, for another podcast. So, no, okay. So obviously you said looking forward to doing real estate. Now, as I said before, working with buyers and stuff. Have you? I mean, do you have any? I guess I definitely didn't going into real estate. But have you have any kind of background in real estate? Meaning like, so this is like a brand new, like you don't really.
Yeah.
So a lot of the stuff, and I think you picked up on a lot because when I got my license, I was very young and I didn't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, you've been able to experience stuff
Right.
and have a general idea because you said the test was easy. When I went and took the test, I was clueless on a lot of the stuff. I was young, I was 20, so I mean, I look at myself now compared to back then. There was so much stuff, even though that was 8-9 years ago, feels like a lifetime ago. So I've learned a lot in that time, but I think for you'll be able to pick up stuff very quickly. And like I said, you've been good about coming in and shadowing me, and I think once you get your license, we'll still do a lot of that, but it'll be, once you kind of get stuff down, be like, okay, go do a showing, go do another showing, and it's just repetition. Once you get down and get into it, we pick on Ellie. She's not here, so we're going to talk about her. But Ellie was the same way, and I think her first deal that she put under contract, she was calling me. We both had computers open. I was calling her or actually FaceTiming and walking her through everything. And because you don't know until you actually experience it. Meaning when I've gone over the contract with her a couple times, not a lot, but until you actually see it and start feeling it in yourself, it's very tough to pick up on stuff just by me talking. So a lot of it is I'm very big on you actually experiencing everything. And if you have questions, obviously reach out and say, hey, and I forgot what's this or what's that, and I fully expect that you guys will all have questions. But that's part of the fun for me, being able to now go from a position of growing into a position where now I can give advice and guidance to people that are just starting and hopefully make their life and growth as a realtor much quicker than mine was. So, but that's exciting. So, no, I'm excited. I think that, like I said, if as with any realtor, if you're going to get in the business, if you're willing to put in the time and energy and learn it and become like a sponge about it and really, really like the business, I think everybody's got a potential to do very well. So that's always my thing is if you ever have any thoughts about doing real estate, you won't know until you try. It's tough to break into it, but I think it can be a very rewarding career when you put the time in to grow and really make a name for yourself and hopefully provide a good service to clients that clients would want to use you and refer you and help them. And that is the best way to grow your business. So, as I said, I didn't write anything down, so I'm kind of just going off the cuff here. Any other questions? Anything else you want to touch upon?
At this point, no.
How was your first podcast experience? Is it weird to listen to your voice? That's what I always ask the people.
No, I honestly thought it would be really weird, but it's okay.
You getting by? Yeah.
I thought I was gonna have to take the headset off.
I had who was it that I forgot who it was refused to wear the headset. They're like, I'm not wearing a headset. I said, you sure? Like it makes it. And I was talking with my buddies Ryan and Matt who also do podcasts, and they do the same thing. Well, I don't think Matt has headsets, but maybe it was Ryan I was talking to. We talked about when you put headsets on, it allows us all to regulate, so you can hear your own voice. And so if I start leaning back like this, and you can hear my voice gets distant, then I got to come back to the mic or at least pull the mic closer to me. So it just kind of helps quality, but it helps you kind of regulate your own voice. So I don't have to be like, hey, Courtney, keep moving, stay closer to the mic or that, or you be leaning back or not in the mic. Because I've had some people on their phone like this, and they turn their head and they're off, but they can hear their voice, so then they got to come back to the mic. So sorry guys, that was an experiment if you saw me listening to me going in and out. But I think that was it. We like I said, we wanted to get it. I don't like missing weeks. That's why I texted Ellie late last night. I said, when are you back? Because I was like, hopefully you're back Thursday or Friday. And she goes, no, not till the weekend. So this is the first ever Realty Talk episode without Ellie. We were going to try to do a conference call with her, but I don't know how to. I didn't have the time to figure that out today. So, but Courtney, I appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Doing this very last minute. I think I sprung this on you not too long ago. So, but that's it. Like I said today, kind of getting to know Courtney a little bit, and I don't know. Like I said, not really much of a topic today because we just want to make sure we could get this in this week. But look out more for Courtney. She will be licensed very soon, and we're excited to have her. And as with anything, if you guys hear this and you have any interest in getting into real estate and want to talk about it, definitely ask. I think it is a phenomenal career. Again, if you are willing to put the time in to want to grow it, I think this can be a very rewarding career, a very fun career, and I think we have a good group of people here at our office, and I think that you guys would enjoy working with them. So if you have any questions on that, definitely reach out. But for Ellie, who's not here, and
Courtney.
And myself, that is episode 16 of Realty Talk. We will see you all next week.